Yo, what's up? So today we're going to be talking about a very serious topic regarding DIG, because it's actually happened more than once now. People have been asking me on Discord and in the YouTube comments and stuff, is DIG dying? Now, in my opinion, in a very quick summary, I'm going to say no, it is not dying. But I will admit the player count has dropped quite a lot since its release, obviously. But to be honest, I feel like all this game needs is a really good update. And I believe that's exactly what we're going to be getting the next time this game updates, which should be either Saturday or Sunday. And I'll get more into details on that later on in the video. Definitely make sure you leave a like and you subscribe. Really does help me out. Now, I did actually make a community poll because I thought it was an interesting topic. Now, do keep in mind with this poll, quite a large quantity of my audience is from Bubblegum Simulator, obviously, because that was my main game for months and months. So most people probably voted on this and they probably don't even fully know what DIG is. But regardless, the poll that I made, is DIG dying? 57% said yes, 14% said no, and then obviously, yeah, I even added that third option there. 29% said I don't play DIG. Now, that's pretty crazy. 57% are saying that DIG is dying. I think one thing that's important to remember is the game is only like 2 weeks old or something. It's like 2 or 3 weeks maybe at this point. I don't actually know. One thing I do know is it's definitely not a month old just yet. So we're still in the very, very early stages of this game. And like I said in the intro, we kind of haven't even really gotten a really big update yet. Like, that's how early on this game is. Just wait for like the mega updates to be dropping. That's when I believe the play count will start going up massively. Kind of like how it did on release. Because I think on release, I think it went up to like 60 to 70k players. I'm pretty sure it was around that area. I think that was its peak, I believe. But then obviously ever since then, it's kind of just slowly gone down. Now, one really exciting thing that I saw when I was actually playing this game, he said this a few days ago, one of the developers. Basically, they made an announcement. Oh, not that. This is what I was meant to show you. They made an announcement. Oh, it was Woozy Nate. Okay, so Nate is actually the main guy. He's actually the lead developer for this game. And also, he was the original creator of Fish, by the way. So this guy knows what he's doing. Anyway, he says in this screenshot, sorry for the lack of content. This update, just prep for next update. See, obviously, he acknowledges that the most recent update wasn't that much content, which, let's be honest, he's pretty bang on there, because really it was only trading, not the greatest update of all time. But the most exciting part is he says, just prep for the next update, which here, I've even zoomed it in for you. And then in this, he also says some emojis, which I think I have a zoomed in screenshot. Yeah, here we go. Now, I do apologize if this is blurred a little bit. I have zoomed this in massively, so that's why it's blurred. But anyway, there's an emoji of a rocket. I think that's like it's either a shooting star or a meteorite or something. And then there's also like a UFO. I believe that's what those emojis are. So clearly, we're going to be getting some sort of alien invasion, or we're going to another world or something crazy like that. I don't really know. Here, you know what? Let me take another look at that. So yeah, a UFO, a meteorite, and then a rocket ship. So, well, to be honest, there's two things that I'm thinking of right here. I'm either thinking we're going to a different planet, which would be so sick, I can't lie, or we're going to have like aliens that are going to like crash land on this world that we're in. You know what I mean? Or something. I don't even know. Although there is a rocket though, so there's a high chance we're probably going to go to a different planet. Which, bro, that sounds absolutely awesome. Like, just imagine this for a minute, right? Imagine this game. In the future, there's going to be an entire solar system where we can travel around in the galaxy and we can just go to different planets. Like, instead of driving cars, we're going to be driving like rockets or something. I mean, I don't know about that. That does sound a little extreme. I mean, we've got to remember, we're on Roblox, you know what I mean? There's limitations to what these devs can do. But just imagine that for a minute. Imagine we could, like, instead of driving cars, we're driving rockets to different planets. That would be pretty sick. But chances are it'll probably be that a rocket has spawned in somewhere. Kind of like the ferry, I suppose. You know how the ferry's here? There might just be like a launch pad. Let's just say over here. I mean, it might not be over here, but I'm just saying, you know. Maybe there'll be a launch pad here or something. And then you just basically click on the rocket and then you just wait for a timer to go down. Very similar to the ferry, I'm assuming. That's probably how it's going to work. and then it'll just teleport you to a different planet or something. I don't know. I mean, obviously, you know, we'll have to wait and see on how that works. It's pretty exciting though, to be fair. It's definitely hyped me up anyway, because yeah, I won't lie. Like, you know, I did see the play count dropping myself, which, to be honest, I was a little confused about, to be fair, because this game, like, truly does deserve big success. Like, it is genuinely such a great game. I mean, look at this, dude. I'm level 91. Like, that's crazy. And you gotta remember, I don't macro or script or do any of that dodgy stuff. I play manually, so that's a lot of hours I've put into the game to be level 91 legitimately. You know what I'm saying? So clearly, I do like this game because, I mean, it is actually very, very fun. I can't lie. Now, with the poll I mentioned earlier, which I think I still have the screenshot. Yeah, here it is. This poll. As you can see, there are 56 comments. So there was a lot of people who had a lot to say. So we're going to read these comments. Now, obviously, I couldn't screenshot every single one because 56 is a lot. This would have been hours long if I was to talk about every comment, but I've screenshotted quite a few. So the top comment on that post with 22 likes, he said, "Gaming is cooked. Just play what you like, bro." So yeah, I thought I'd just show this comment because it was literally the most liked one. Anyway, yeah, we're just going to move on from that. The next one, they said, "It's been out for just a month, gang." So yeah, kind of what I said earlier. Like, the game really hasn't been... Because there are a lot of people, if you go on like Discord and stuff, there's a lot of people saying that the game's dying, or, I mean, there's even some crazy people saying it's dead, which I don't even understand that argument. How can it be dead? That's not even possible. But dying, I can understand how people are saying dying because obviously the play count is just going down. But the game is definitely far from dead. This guy said, "Never knew why Fish and Dig got so much hype." Now, to be honest, I didn't play Fish that much, which is one of my biggest regrets. I missed the launch of Fish because, I don't know, I don't think I was even active on YouTube at that time. I was dealing with some like personal issues. So I never played the hype of Fish. I kind of missed all of that, unfortunately. So when I heard that the original developer of Fish was making this game, I, you know, made sure to hop on it. And one thing I can say is I genuinely do like Dig, and I do believe it deserves a lot of hype, and I do believe it deserves a lot of players, to be honest. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this comment from this guy, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are watching this who played Fish and Dig as well. So you'll have more input on this comment than what I can do. And yeah, I'll make sure to read every comment on this video, by the way. So I'm genuinely curious to see what you guys have got to say. The next comment, "The problem is that in the beginning, it's boring, but when you get really know the game, it starts to get fun." Wait, what? Is that English or can I not read? "But when you get to really know the game, it starts to get fun." Okay, no. I just forgot how to read there. But yeah, I actually massively agree with this comment. In the beginning, it can be a little bit confusing, for sure, but to be honest, I feel like that's the like kind of the thing with like all games, to be honest. Like, at first it's kind of a bit overwhelming, I suppose, if that's even the right word. Like, who starts off on a game and they have that feeling of like, oh, I just can't be bothered? Do you know what I mean? Especially when you first start games. But then it's like, once you get the ball rolling, right? Imagine if you're kicking a football and then you slowly kick it and then it gets to a point where there's like a hill. And then obviously once it goes down the hill, then it just gains momentum. That's kind of the similar way with games, I feel like. Like, obviously you always start off slow in the beginning with games, but then that momentum, you just keep on going and going until you're like really hooked on the game and you want to complete everything and do everything that the game has to offer. This guy said, "Never played it, but I'd imagine it's dying as it sounds too similar to Fish." Now, like I said, I didn't play much of Fish. I mean, I played a tiny bit of Fish, so I'm not like completely oblivious. But in my opinion, like, I don't think it... I mean, like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, it's made by the same guy, so of course it's going to have some extreme similarities, but it definitely feels like a different game though. Like, it feels unique in my opinion. You know, it's definitely not like a clone of Fish or something. You know, it's not like a pet sim game where and it's like, it's basically just a clone of the previous one. Like, this definitely has its own unique gameplay to it compared to Fish, you know what I mean? Next comment, "Game is boring as hell. Early Fish is fun because it's relatable. Fishing IRL is fun. As for digging random patches of dirt, it's not exactly the most relatable." So I actually thought about this as well, to be honest, at one point. Now, this is a good point, and this was one of the reasons in my head where I was, because in the beginning I was considering like whether this game was going to be a success or not, and this was one of the things that popped in my head was, you know, with Fish, obviously he was trying to replicate the success of Fish, right, with this game. But the thing is Fish, it is that kind of like there is that relatability, kind of. I mean, obviously, not everyone fishes in real life, but I feel like majority of people have gone fishing at least once, you know what I mean? Where in comparison to digging, you know, nobody has really ever, like, went out and dug in real life, I don't think. I mean, not with like metal detecting and stuff. That's like a very rare bunch of people that have actually done that activity. So the difference between fishing and digging, you know, it's like you've got one hobby that's like millions and millions of people on the planet do, and then you've got digging, which not many people on the planet do, I don't think. So maybe that could actually affect Dig's performance in comparison to fish. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that, because I've got a feeling there's going to be someone in the comments that's probably thinking I'm crazy for saying that, but yeah, it just makes sense though. Like, people care for fishing much more than, you know, digging, basically. This guy says the grind is just boring to me and it doesn't feel like fish. Now, I'm just going to go through these because I've got quite a few screenshotted. I don't want this video to be hours long. I don't really like it. It's pretty boring. I already knew the game wouldn't last. Trash game. Yeah, there was a lot of negative comments on this post. I can't lie. You can always see what happens with fish. Now, Do Big Games doesn't own it. I personally got bored off it after playing for 1 day, so yes. And the final one I've got screenshot here. They really should pay attention to the console games too. I mean, most of them lose interest after waiting so long for patches. Just what I noticed. Yeah, apparently consoles having some issues or something, which I feel like consoles always got issues though. Like, even on like BGSI and Pet Sim, I feel like I remember always hearing that console had issues. Obviously it's a completely different platform, but yeah, hopefully that can get resolved. And also mobile too. I remember mobile having a lot of issues as well. But yeah, like I said, there were tons of comments on that post, and I'm sure, you know, there'll probably be way more even after I've like posted this video and stuff. So if you want to check out the other comments on that post in particular, and if you want to vote on that post yourself, you can. And the post obviously I'm referring to is this one. Is Dig dying? Yes, no, I don't play Dig. That's the 3 options, and it's still going to be on my community page if you want to go vote yourself and leave a comment on that. But yeah, we just got to wait for this big update that's coming. Something to do with a rocket. I think it's going to be amazing. We do kind of need a big update here, I can't lie. The first 2 updates, I mean, the Blood Moon was all right. It, you know, it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad. The trading update was just meh. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really much of a trader, so it didn't really do anything for me, to be honest. But I know there's a lot of like trading people that would love that trading update though. But yeah, appreciate you watching. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like I said, I'm going to read every comment. Oh, actually, if you made it this far, comment autumn, because right now the season is actually autumn, and I'm curious to see who's made it this far, because this is going to be kind of a long video, I think. So yeah, comment autumn. Also, if you could be an absolute legend and use star code VIEW when buying your Robux, that would be massively appreciated. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.